What's up? What's good? Monarch here, back with another Friday Force video. This is, the settler age that we're in now, or the carpentry age, I guess you could call it. Last video, we had just freshly completed the hunter-gatherer stage. So now, we're a bit deeper into it. We're trying to, get set up, really. Last time it was a lot of exploring, a lot of dying. I'm not really keen on dying so much this time, you know? Like, to be honest. It's a bit mid as an experience. So, currently, to stay cool, I'm swimming in the river, taking a dip, you know? Now, I know this has been a while since the last video, and it's funny, I recorded this the day after the first one. But the voiceover is, like, so miserably far after, it's kind of funny. So I spotted some quartz down there, which is what I wanted. I just thought it was funny it was there, of all places. I didn't expect it. And there's not much I can do with it in the carpentry age, because it's more about the wood, not the stone yet. But take it for good luck. Why not, right? And you're going to see a lot of visual errors in this video, mainly because my hard drive is slowly dying, I'm pretty sure. But that's a little heath next to what looks like a redwood biome, actually, that I'm picking out a lot of these ferns from. Some good old mangrove trees over there. I saw some cod. And this is all just volcanic sand, because we're still near Cave Town from the first video. If you recall, that is the spawn of the server. That's it over there loading in poorly with a... It looked like a salesman. A pigman. And I ended up sleeping in the volcanic soil, just like on the beach somewhere, because I don't have a house yet, you know? I'm traveling. I'm trying to find a place where I want to build a house. Where do I want to settle down? I don't like being far from spawn, but I don't like being, like, super close either. Although the volcanic sand is nice, it is a sign. And, it is a sign that it's a bit too hot. There's ants, you know, of course. Don't know if they were in the last video or not, but since this video's recording, I've actually changed them to be less armored, because they... See, that one died in one hit, but there's one later I have to pull out a second weapon to kill, and that's a bit excessive, you know? You know? So, this town right here, in this lovely little pine forest, we call Abaton. Shortened from a bad town, because it's mostly abandoned. There's like 2 people here, and we once got ambushed by a horde of zombies and 3 different boss monsters that all just came in this one town. And so in our main base, me and my buddies, keep in mind this is back when it was still pre-release phase. The pre-release is like our classic era, we'll say, where it was only me and like 4 other guys playing. It's the test group. And that's also the old Pigman skin. If you go to our website, that's right, flashfirestudios.org, you'll see that we have an official new Pigman skin, not the placeholder from another game, because, you know, pretty cool stuff. But, god, I was rambling and I forgot what I was going to say, because it's pretty. Oh, and I take a screenshot, because I guess I thought it was pretty in the moment, too. That's kind of funny, actually. We are in a grove right now. You can tell because the abundance of ferns. And, you know, the trees, the pine trees are all saplings, but they'll grow in. They'll grow in, it's fine. And I think me placing the bed, I don't move it from there. That's where I keep it, and I build a house right here. That's where we build the house in this video. As Lionel the Dwarf. You know, we got the, of course we got the crafting table, of course. I know. But, bear with me. At first, I realized we're going to need some chests, because our inventory already got full somehow this early on, which is surprising. And I was going to make a backpack, but I can't make one yet, so... Chest it is. And you can never have too many sticks, either. That's always a nice one. I think the house starts very ugly, because I'm not a good builder, but by the end, it actually turned out very nice. I'm quite pleased. So it looks like I've got a diet of fruits, nuts, and fish. That's actually pretty solid, like apple, nuts, speckfish, cod. Yeah, that's a solid diet. Not that that matters. I'm just critiquing what my dwarf is eating, you know. No, some people are divided on the block previews, or placement previews, as it's called. I am a huge fan because I feel like it lets me see the direction more clearly that my block is going to turn out. But some people are very annoyed by them or not fans like I am of them, and that's okay. You can disable them in-game, fun fact. But I like them. Another ant that's funny. This is the one I have to pull out the axe for, because this guy is crazy, and he's just too immortal. Yeah, I've patched that out since then. But I keep losing my train of thought. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be Unhinged Rambles, the video. I'm sorry, BB Treeby. It's one of those trees that I just gotta remove because it's in my way. And that's the thing about the trees in this game. They all start as saplings if they are... Not all, as you see, sorry, most. The primary trees, I'm gonna eventually do all of them. They start as saplings in the forest. Because... Yeah, as I say there in the chat, the trees grow. They grow uniquely. We got some wildlife crawling on our head there, man. But, so the trees grow uniquely. They start as saplings. You know, this pine forest is all just saplings until it grows in from us being here. That's what makes it not just saplings anymore. The player's decision to settle down here caused this place to expand and flourish. Oh no. I guess I'm getting some meat, you know? You gotta eat. Thing's tough, man. Wow. But you'll see later in this video what I mean about the growing trees, because they grow block by block, and they feel it out, and it makes every tree unique, but on the downside, it can be resource intensive. Sorry, I was reading when I was saying pine nuts are edible. They are, if you cook them, which I just tried to eat it as you see me punch the air there, and I was like, oh, why can't I eat this? And I remember you have to roast them. Roasted pine nuts are really good, though. Also, as a fun fact, because this was recorded during the classic era of the game, this is now an open alpha, actually. If you go to flashfirestudios.org, you can play it if you want. You can play on this very server. It is a multiplayer game primarily, and I give a link to a tutorial on setting up a server, because single player, you need a pretty solid PC to play. I don't know if my CPU's just lacking because I spilled tea on my laptop once, but it struggles. There is some serious TPS lag in single player for me, and I'm the dev of the game, but single player on my dedicated server, no problems. Like, I've even added a lot more intensive stuff, like a whole waterlogging system, that changed how the aquifers worked, which we haven't seen an aquifer yet in this. When we start really digging in this stage, because we'll get through the dirt, when we really get into it in this stage, or the next stage, the Stone Age, we're probably going to come across an aquifer, and it will suck. Just outright, it's going to suck. But that's part of the beauty. Like, they're tough. I've had to deal with them enough that I kind of like the challenge. It makes you adapt the way that you play. You're not just gonna play it like it's Minecraft and dig an infinite big hole and rip chunks out of your whole world. You can strip mine and stuff like that. Actually, you know what? You pretty much... The way that it's encouraged to dig in this game for mining... I did add a sort of... I added dowsing rods so you can use a tool to detect if there's an aquifer where you're gonna make, but that wasn't in the game. Sorry, where you're gonna make your house, I should say. But that wasn't in the game when I was recording this video, so I might have built this over an aquifer. I haven't tested yet. But even if I did, that's okay. That's fixable. It's not really a terrible thing, because an aquifer essentially is groundwater that is sucked up by saprolite, like hardened dirt, or it's alternatively in like limestone, damp sort of, like rock that's saturated. And when you mine it, it'll start leaking. Or in general, aquifers just leak, and it's quite the challenge. So you want to avoid them where you can, but if you do find yourself going through them, simple solution, guys. Just build walls around your tunnel. It is resource intensive, let me tell you. We built ours out of wood, and yes, wood rots, but you know what? It doesn't leak through the wood. Good enough. I don't care if it's all really rotten and ugly. As long as it holds back the water, that's all I care about. So in our little quarry that we have, it's basically... We tried going 3x3 steps, like cubes, just going progressively diagonal deeper, but it did not really work so well. And the whole place just kept flooding, and it would actually cause our walls that we're making to just get washed away, which is quite annoying. So in the end, we just dug a hole straight down with a rope for us to climb down, a quarry. And that's one of the best ways to do it. But also, if you just start randomly mining, dirt will just cave in, so be warned. You know, you mine a chunk of dirt and suddenly you're collapsing in a bunch of stuff on yourself. It's not easy to build underground in this, but it's quite rewarding when you do, as a result, I would say. And tunnels as well, cave-ins, like rock does also cave in, not just dirt, obviously, you know, this is why it's called a cave-in. So in this, when you end up underground and you're building, there's a 15% chance if you break a rock, all of the stone around it will turn to gravel and just fall down. So don't mine the stone above your head, that's quite dangerous. You could just have gravel fall down on you and you get trapped or something. Not a fun time. But the way you prevent that is you put wooden support beams every 9 blocks. And if you put support beams, then you will prevent cave-ins from stone. Dirt will always do that. Like, imagine trying to knock away dirt to try and make out a room. If it's probably all going to come down unless you're using, like, tilting or packed dirt or mud or something. So dirt itself is just going to come apart, so... This tree is one of those growing trees I was talking about, by the way. You see, I have to play Ring Around the Rosie for a long time with this tree, just going around it and around it, because it was growing so fast that I would cut down a piece, look, and be like, oh, one of the pieces I just cut grew back, and then I'd cut that, and I'd just keep going in circles and circles and circles. And I got from 10 wood, you see we jumped to 24 in the cut there, and to 28. It goes all the way to, I think, 36 or 40 before I end up going to go do something else. Because this one tree just won't give up. Like, I didn't want to destroy the tree. It's killed 2 axes on me. Which is quite impressive for just this one tree, to be honest. And, that's some of the beauty of it, though, you know, is it's trying to grow and I'm trying to take it down. I'm not even trying to take it down, I'm just pruning it. We are making a nice house out of that wood, though. That tree really is what made this house possible. And I'm glad we didn't have to kill the magic tree that was giving us so many resources. And I'm trying to fix all these vertical patches of wood from me placing things like a caveman. And you see, I built a hammer, by the way. That's a really important thing here. Hammers stop your wood from obeying gravity unless it is floating. Floating wood is gonna fall. If your wood is not floating, and you attach it, say, like you make an overhang out of wood, and you don't hammer it in, you have about 5 seconds before that thing falls. So you gotta hammer it in quick, or else your roof is not gonna stay, you know. You have to hammer in a roof like that. And as well, if you need to patch things, of course, you see that's the example of what I'm saying there, is if you need to patch things in the wall, you use a hammer, of course. You just nail in the wood around it. In fact, just make a habit of nailing in all your wood. It makes your build sturdier. Something explodes your house, you know, something goes wrong at some point, heaven forbid. Your whole house will not just have its wall collapse. You'll just have a piece of the wall. And so hammer's useful. In fact, you see I have this technique I'm doing. I have the wood in the offhand, so I'm right-clicking that places wood, and I'm left-clicking with the hammer in my main hand. And we're just going to town. It's much easier to build with a friend, though, that way, because someone can hammer while the other person puts down the wood, because obviously a person doesn't usually construct a house alone in real life. And it's no different in the Land of Noon, you know? You can see the trees are really growing in around us now. And it's quite beautiful to see this grove is coming together with our hidden home of 3 different types of wood. I was nervous about having 3 types of wood, because it's kind of unorthodox, I would say, but we did it. And I also am quite a big fan of having this one block gap in my roofs, like you see here, because I always put kilns and furnaces in my house. You can put it outside, that's a smarter way to do it. Or you build a chimney, because smoke is a thing in this game. Every item you cook in a kiln or a furnace is going to cause a block of smoke to appear. And it'll rise into the air, and if you don't do anything, it will just get stuck in your house. You'll have a smoky house. It'll be terrible. So, need a chimney, or if you're lazy like me, you just have all these gaps for it to seep out the sides of. And I think that's kind of satisfying, watching it all just kind of seep out. Although one build I had both, and it was a very aerated house in a savanna like that. It was quite nice. I'm trying to climb up this tree so I can get a better view of my house, but the trees are getting pretty big and hiding the home now, so it's a bit difficult to really see it. Yeah, you can see just peeking out. If you're not looking for it and you don't know it's here, you're probably not going to notice it. It's tucked away in a little like low down area surrounded by taller trees, although that's kind of maybe a giveaway that someone has at least been around here for a while, as there's tall trees. So you might know to look for something, because, wow, this forest is very well grown. And yeah, hammer in those above it, because I'm going to add little windows eventually, and I'm going to place down... I really don't like how I placed this wood in post, but I thought, you know, having logs around the side of the house would be cool. I should have really just placed it up there, but I didn't. Whatever, it's all good. I'll place it there. It's coming together, honestly. I like it. The house is pretty much nearing completion. The only other things that you really need for the carpentry age, you're going to see me make a bow drill in a bit, because you have to master the art of fire. You know, we learn how to make charcoal and ash that way. I've actually had to patch how that works since then, because fire originally turned trees straight to ash, not just the leaves, but now I have it so they turn into charcoal blocks, like a little skeleton is left behind. It's really cool, I think. Other than the bow drill, you're going to need, a house with a bed. You're going to need a front door on that as well. And you are going to need a farm with 5 food per person. It's got to be a protected farm, because there are pests in this. You don't want to get your crops eaten by pests. I don't think I build a farm in this episode, so next episode is still going to be the Settler's Age again. But you are going to see me burn down a tree here. Controlled tree burning just like happened in... probably still today. You know, I shouldn't say probably, but... you know, controlled tree burnings do happen, but they were more common in the past, I feel like. Other than having a house, you're going to need a stack of wood per player, 5 crops growing per player, 5 pieces of food per player. You're also going to need a full set of wood tools and a full set of wood armor as well. We're wearing woven armor from the hunter-gatherer stage right now. So really, I only accomplished like 1 task in this video, 2 I guess, the bow drill and the house. But, so, you know, it's funny, we're burning this tree here. I say I'm watching as it's frozen, because my hard drive is failing. But, it's funny, in the newest update of the game, patch 0.04, open alpha that is, check out our website, again, time to plug a third time, flashfirestudios.org. It's now really dark at night, because lights are much brighter, so I would be terrified to be out this late at night, because this burning tree would be one of the only things you'd see for miles, practically. And I don't think my house is that lit up, because it's obscured by the trees. So really, I'd just be stumbling about in the darkness until I get back home. But you can see all this ash is forming, making dynamic-looking piles. I'm quite pleased. It was a mod I found on the forums. That's the smoke, by the way, I was talking about rising into the air. I found this ash mod on the forums. It didn't really do what I wanted it to do very well, and it kept crashing, actually, so I had to customize it a fair bit. But, yeah, that's That's ashes, man. That's ashes. We have successfully burned a tree, I would say. And the smoke does not go away, by the way. That way, you can kind of tell where civilization has been. It's sort of like a pollution sort of thing. So it can get annoying in your house, but you can just place a block to replace it or something. Although I should probably put another way for it to dissipate. It's just that I really like having big smokestacks above the kingdoms, because like say in our main base, we have this huge smoked stack that has like hundreds and hundreds of blocks of smoke, and if you were to count it all up, you would know exactly how many items we've smelted at our workshop, and I think that's so cool. You can see that we're an established society through our smokestack. And I don't want to ruin that. I did add steam since then, and steam does dissipate really quickly unless it's contained. Maybe I should do the reverse. Whoa. Where, yeah, you would not be walking out in the darkness like this if it's patch 0.04. You would not see anything unless you're holding a torch. But maybe I should make it so that if smoke is indoors, it dissipates. That doesn't make much sense, but I don't like it when it gets stuck in the buildings, but I like it when it's outside. But it's the reverse. With steam, you would like to trap it, compress it, use it in steam engines. Whereas if it's outside, you have a torch next to some water, it'll make steam and it'll dissipate within like 10 seconds. It's funny, we've hardly seen any monsters so far, actually. Where we died so many times previously. I think, we're just, I think this is the part where I knew that there was a zombie around and I was looking for it. But I do a march around the house and I cannot find where this guy is. You know, the trees are kind of obscuring a lot of the view. But we do end up finding the zombie, as you can see. Sorry, it might sound a bit different. The whole recording software just died and would not let me continue where I left off, and I had to start a new file. Gonna have to splice the two audio clips together when I'm not even recording directly onto the video and have to edit these onto it after, so it's probably gonna be out of sync, but whatever. Zombie's gone, that's all that matters. And we're back at it. There's an owl over there. That's always good luck if you see one flying through the sky, right? Is it? I don't know. It's probably the opposite for a lot of people. They're wise though, so they're good. I'm not really superstitious like that, to be honest. But I end up making a waypoint on the top of the house here, because you can do that. You know, it's a good thing, good practice, to not get lost, especially in the newest update of Friday Forest, where things are a lot darker. Because you will get lost if you do not go to your markers like that. And there's a good chance you're going to get lost anyway, because it'll be really dark and you'll be fumbling around. Just bring a torch, it's not hard. I do quite like the house, though. You can just hear the hail, though, that's coming down. And, yeah, it's not a great look out here. That bird is just a-going, though. But I honestly think that's about where we're going to end it. We will make a farm next time, guys. So I guess it only died at the end, at least. Not bad. Well, I hope you enjoyed. This is the first half of the carpentry age of Friday Force. And I hope y'all enjoyed. I will catch y'all